Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Please continue to support my Lego art ideas by singing along with me, gesturing at the video, and hitting the dislike button. But most importantly, on my Lego ideas site, because that's where it counts. We're almost up to 3 months since I started submitting ideas to Lego Ideas. But actually, my Lego career began a little bit over a year ago, actually. I was at an art show, and I got to thank God. What had happened was I missed the art show that I wanted to go to. I forgot what happened, but I ended up in a different art show at the Phoenix Convention Center. And they were hosting some other events, including a whole room of Legos. And you guys remember, I think I even recorded a video while I was there. I was joking, wouldn't it be nice if we could do Mondrian art with the Legos? And I put together a bunch of Lego pieces in the shape of a Mondrian. And then I learned about at Arrowhead Mall, there was a Lego store that you could custom. You can fill a box with Legos. It was about like $25 for a very small box, actually. But you know what? I wanted to see what it would turn of it before I got more, and I put together a Mondrian similar to that one. Not as good a texture. And that takes us to this spring when I started working with the Lego Studio software. Palace of Culture and Science was my very first submission. Palace of Culture and Science is in Warsaw, Poland. And I love having symbolic messages in my builds. So when I put this together, it had exactly 1,898 pieces, 1898 being the year that Marie Curie discovered polonium. One of Poland's biggest scientific discoveries, I would argue. The hardest part was getting the scale just right, and even then I couldn't. I had initially made every one by one block one floor, but I needed 7,000 or so pieces to do that. So then I shrunk it down to make it fit to the 1898. If I don't win the contest with this one, I might think about doing one that's closer to 5,000 pieces, which is the limit for the Lego Ideas submission. So 1,898 pieces. The website is very difficult to use, so it seems to always hide something. Okay, there we go. And then I had a classmate from when I was working on my PhD. He took a vacation to Japan, and he stayed in a capsule hotel. So I looked up what was the most beautiful capsule hotel building. What was really nice is that there was a nice blueprint of the Nakajin Capsule Tower. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Was demolished a few years ago. It had a number of issues, asbestos, lead paint, or something. It had to be taken down for environmental purposes, and but there are very good blueprints that you could find online, and this is exactly to scale. And I made it out of 888 pieces because 8's a lucky number in Japanese numerology. Wait a minute. I redid it. I got to upload some new photos because I eventually redid it to make it 888. And then I did my favorite one, Taipei 101. I actually have multiple sizes for that Taipei 101 build. My big one had like over 4,000 pieces, and then there were this one had how many? 3188. Again, 8 being a lucky number in Chinese as well. I had one that had 1,001 pieces. You know, a wordplay in the number 101. But it's over a meter tall. And I'm going to have to upload some new photos because I actually went there and counted how many windows there were on each side to get the scale just right. So I'm going to have to redo this. One thing I won't be able to fix is that this angle is not nearly so sharp, but that's the only angled piece I could find in the Lego library. So I'll have to settle for that. But I did measure the sides of the building a lot more accurately the last time I was there. And then I took a break from skyscrapers to do Mondrian art. This is the original Mondrian. Mondrian did this piece to represent Broadway in New York. I added color to it, the green representing Central Park, and I added some texture to. I would imagine these represent either the subway lines or the streets, and then some buildings, right? He did another piece to represent victory from World War II. And once again, I used exactly 1,945 pieces representing 1945, the year we won the war. Got 14 more days until I can update it. I got to re-upload the picture. This one doesn't have the 1945 pieces just yet. I wonder why they have to put a delay for when you can update. I guess they want to encourage you to be like almost done before you hit the submit button. Mondrian Art Puzzle was a mathematical puzzle based on Mondrian's art projects. You're trying to divide a square into rectangles with interesting properties. And then I did a board game of Royal Game of I have a few other board games in mind I hope to get to. These two I actually have been working on for some time. Lego has become very picky with what they will accept in terms of pictures and all that. But I'm glad for the delay because it allowed me to accumulate a bunch of followers. And so within days of uploading them, already 294 supporters for the traditional Chinese. I actually started with Grand Hotel only. But when they kept pushing it back, I built a couple other buildings, and here we are. There are 2 Grand Hotels in Taiwan. This one's the Dragon Tower in China. And then obviously the Plaza Hotel, which is interesting because Lego has done a few builds for Home Alone, and Plaza Hotel was one of the buildings that Kevin got lost in Home Alone 2. It was another significant event at the Plaza Hotel was the Plaza Accord, when 5 countries got together to negotiate global trade, and U.S., France, UK, Germany, and Japan all met here in 1985 to devalue the dollar for trade purposes. All right, and I got a couple other builds on the way. Let's see if we can go to the drafts. Unfortunately, Lego is not going to accept Baggett Tower in Alaska, and the reason they give, inappropriate. Your submission relates to Baggett Towers, which falls outside of the guidelines because it was a war memorial. I mean, that's not what it's being used today, and I'll probably have to redo this and do it a little bit more generically. Hey, just town under one roof without describing where it is. Just say, hypothetically, a town could live under one roof. It would look like this. I don't know if Lego will accept it that way, but it's worth a try. I couldn't get Lego to accept the Twin Tower build either. I said, well, we could do it for like a memorial of what happened on the anniversary, or just maybe on the anniversary of when it was first constructed, so that it could be a tribute to the engineering as opposed to what happened to lead it to be destroyed, right? A friend of mine is traveling in Maui and staying in a hotel that looks like that, which I did out of Legos. But I did it half as tall because Lego Ideas caps you out at 5,000 pieces. And with just a short note that, hey, you can buy 2 sets and put them together if you want. And then I did a Motel 6. Couldn't find the right piece for that 6-figure, though. All right. Continue to support my projects and show your support on this video by disliking it. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.